And going back to our story about the Lok Sabha, the lower house of India's parliament, passing 3 new criminal laws that are replacing, British-era laws. We're joined by Mr. P.K. Malhotra, former Law Secretary of the Government of India. Thank you very much, Mr. Malhotra, for being with us. Now, how much more efficient will, law enforcement be after these laws? Are we moving, let's say, from the 19th century to the 21st century?
Well, I'm very happy that these laws have been passed by the Lok Sabha, and very shortly they will be going to Rajya Sabha also, and they will become the law. And the 3 archaic laws which are being replaced are by Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, which will be replacing the Indian Penal Code, or the Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Samhita, which will be replacing the CRPC of 1973, and Bharatiya Saksha Sanhita, which will be replacing the Evidence Act. I think they were much needed and were required to be replaced long ago, but there have been discussion, but no steps were taken in that direction. Fast and efficient justice system, as all of us know, is an essential component of good governance. And unfortunately, so far as criminal justice system is concerned, there have been long delays in that. Yes. And total pendency in the lower courts itself, I'm not talking of High Court and Supreme Court, in the lower courts itself, where maximum cases are pending, is about 4.5 crore. With the kind of changes which are now being brought in the new laws, and we are moving from the 19th century to the 21st century law, I expect that it is going to be a game changer so far as the criminal justice administration system is concerned.
Yes.
More importantly, use of technology and the forensic science in investigation of crime, service of summons, or the conduct of proceedings through video conferencing is going to help us a lot. It will save time and movement of the prisoners or the under trial from the jail to the court. A lot of time will be saved on that, and probably security measures will also be taken care of. Yes. More importantly, I think the new laws which are coming, they are going to have a citizen-centric approach where probably you are more interested in justice delivery than in simply punishing a person. And for that reason, one important provision which has been brought is with regard to summary trial for petty offenses or for smaller offenses. Instead of sending the person to the jail and overcrowding the jail, now a provision for community service is being made.
Yes.
I think that's a welcome change. We should welcome it. And probably the plea bargain will be more acceptable proposition for the people who commit petty offenses, because they will be let off with a community service, and it will be a reformative system which will be coming.
Yes,
more
indeed.
Particularly now the offenses, some of the offenses against women and children, they are getting priority and higher punishment is being prescribed. And even the judges are being bound down to give judgment in a time-bound manner, whether it is the investigation, yes, whether it is lodging of FIR or investigation of case. All these things are to be taken up in a time-bound manner. I think with this kind of timeline which have been prescribed, we expect that justice delivery system, more particularly in the criminal justice system, will improve and citizens will be getting quick justice, which is one of the objectives of our constitution also.
Right. Mr. Malhotra, so you say that it's much more reformative, but, making terrorism definition more stringent, how much of a deterrent is this? And, probably terrorism didn't exist in the 19th century as we know of it today.
Yes, I think this was a vacuum which was there, because already we had a terrorism activity, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, and but the sedition law was of course there. I think the government has now done away with the sedition law under the new law, and the definition of terrorism has been added to that. I'm not going into the detail of it because there is some difference between the unlawful activity and the terrorism. And terrorism stand on a higher footing because it is a crime against the country. And stricter punishment for the terrorism, I think this is the need of the hour. The kind of terrorist activities which we as the largest democracy of the country are facing, I think need to be dealt with an iron hand. And for that, specific provisions have been made in the new law.
Also, there is a clearer definition about cruelty against women by a husband and in-laws, by her in-laws. How much of a deterrent is this, and why is this necessary in the law?
No, obviously the crimes against women and children are increasing in spite of the fact that the law was there. Therefore, a clarity was needed in the law, and since the existing law was not working properly, Therefore, after a wide consultation, and when this bill was introduced, it's not that it has been introduced all of a sudden. As the Home Minister himself has said on the floor of the House, for the last 4 years, consultation has been going on. The Supreme Court, the High Courts, the state legislature, and NGOs have been consulted. And after 4 years of consultation, these kind of changes have been brought into the law to see that it works more effectively. And I think the kind of changes which have been brought, it will bring more confidence in the justice delivery system as well as in the common citizen that justice will be done to him.
Now, the term mental illness has been replaced by, in most cases, by unsoundness of mind. Was there some sort of ambiguity in terms of mental illness? Was it too broad? And how does unsoundness of mind actually make it more clearer?
I think there are many such issues which have cropped up, and take for example Section 377 of the IPC. I think that also needed a consideration, and the mental illness and mental plurality, they have been differently interpreted by different courts. So in case there is a difference in the interpretation given by the court, the law itself needs to be clarified by the legislature so that when it is to be implemented by the court, they take a uniform view in its implementation, and there is no disparity that two similar cases are being dealt with differently by different courts.
Yes, indeed. Now, you did talk in your first answer about how we are in the 21st century, and obviously technology, this is the era of technology, but technology can also be misused. And so, I mean, the question of recording evidence using technology, court proceedings being available through, internet, were there some limitations necessary here? I mean, in what way do you see this era? Is this, some area where there could probably be, confusion in the future?
Yes, I think you are raising a very valid point. This is a very good point which you are raising. You see, the technology is moving too fast, and probably the changes in the law are not taking the same kind of pace. If that pace is lacking, then probably technological use has to be upgraded and strengthened so that it serves the purpose for which it is being utilized. Therefore, the Telecommunication Act, even the Digital Data Protection Act, that have sufficient provision to see how the misuse of the technology can be stopped. And even in using the court also, it's not it's not used from day one. Sufficient trials take place before its use is implemented. I can give you an example that for criminal appeals in Delhi and Bombay High Court, the Supreme Court came out with a software known as SUPACE, where artificial intelligence will be used for dealing with the criminal appeals in the High Court, in the Delhi High Court and the Bombay High Court. The trial is still on, and I'm told that it has been successfully working. So similarly, the technology will definitely play a big role in the criminal justice administration system, and the delay which was taking place because of the human element coming in, because whatever humans can do, say, in 1 hour time, maybe machine can do in 1 minute.
Yes.
If that is the speed which the justice delivery system can be implemented, I think this the kind of misuse or the ill effect of it, probably they can overcome with the passage of time. Of course, you can't expect perfection from day one. Perfection will take time. But definitely we are moving in the right direction with the use of technology. The kind of time which is taken by the court will be reduced. And as the law itself provides, the judge's investigation should be on time and the trial should also be on time. And with the use of technology, probably this time gap with the investigation of cases in trial and in pronouncement of judgment can be reduced.
We leave it there. Thank you very much for your comprehensive analysis, Mr. P.K. Malhotra.